Welcome to I Review Podcasts, a channel for reviewing audio, documentaries, and narrative podcasts, either one-offs or series podcasts from anywhere in the world. And today we're reviewing BBC Radio 4's Complex, which is a three-part series. It's produced by Redzi Bernard, music by Lily Sloan, and executive produced by Rachel Hooper and Alan Hall for Falling Tree Productions. Redzi is a fantastic producer. I love how subtle she is with her work while making these really great grand points about the social issues that she loves to explore. And Falling Tree Productions, which at this point is a shorthand for a type of audio that is sound rich, thoughtful, it respects the listener enough not to hold your hand, and transports us into whatever world they want to take us into. Falling Tree Productions tend to do without scripts. They don't need links to hold the structure together. It makes it sound like a trippy, vibey piece of work, but Complex is anything but that. It's tough to listen to in some parts and deals with the nitty-gritty of the life of Nora, a child with complex disabilities. I'm going to review just the first episode, Home, in the three-part series. This is presented by Nora's parents, Dave and Toz. We also hear from Nora's sole sibling, Harry, a 10-year-old, from the children's grandparents, both maternal and paternal. And we hear from Nora as well, some wobblings when she's delighted. And we get a surprise antagonist as we start digging into how Dave and Toz are making or trying to make a home fit for Nora. We start off with this calming sound of birds, and I have to say that I absolutely love cold opens because they unsettle me a bit. They're like a mystery, like what is going on here? So we hear these intriguing sounds of playing and singing, and then the first name that we hear is Nora's name. Dave and Toz describe Nora. None of their descriptions touch on her disability. But I think that's a great choice because for a world that is prejudiced against disability, we get to meet Nora first through her parents' eyes before being told that she has a condition called CDKL5, which is largely characterized by seizures along with other disabilities like visual impairment and an inability to speak. We get to this bit where the parents are taking Nora for tests and trying to figure out what is happening with Nora. And we get some of what I consider intrusive sound design. The sound design is great. Like it's a lovely distorted electronic sound, which I believe might be mimicking the fact that Nora is being put into all these machines. And we get some crackling type of sound effects and also some music that sort of like pulses and drags up the dread in you. Like what are these people going to find out? But I personally just wanted to sit with Dave and Toz as the doctors manifested their worry into reality. And then eventually we now get to our surprise antagonist of the piece, which is council policy and bureaucracy. Like they need to outfit their house so that Nora can live in it comfortably for years to come. And it is expensive as hell. And the money that the council is offering is just a drop in the bucket. But the way they are doing these people, like they are making them jump through all these hoops for this piddling amount of money. And it's just wild to me. The amount of money that they eventually need to actually renovate the whole house to like fit it for Nora. In some places in England, you can buy that house whole like fully. You just have this policy just in their way. But of course, as they're battling all these things, normal life has to go on. And they have to go to work. They have to take care of Harry as well. And they also have to manage their grief. And almost everyone in Nora's family seems to be living with this grief and unacknowledged pressure that rises to the surface at surprising and sometimes unsurprising times. My standout scene happens at 10:15 one night. Taz and Dave are discussing at what I assume is the kitchen table. The kids are in bed. Taz is making this really great point about how the roadblocks to get help are discriminatory. And Dave is just tapping away at what we later find out is yet another email to the council. Dave is not engaging with his partner. In response to her words, we just hear verbal acknowledgements like and then just the rapid tapping of the keyboard. And then he admits that he's just so tired. He says, I am out of road. Whew. The scene ends with about 12 seconds of just keyboard tapping away into the night with some lovely subtle music underneath. And you feel the weight, you feel that, you just feel the exhaustion of it all. And it's so, so good, Redzi. So Redzi places this scene immediately after Dave has detailed the hoops that they had to go through to apply to the council and the seemingly, well, to me, petty as hell reasons why they are not giving this couple this money. So this scene just underlines that thought perfectly. You realize how much all of that grinds you down. Towards the end of the piece, Dave makes such a great point about our society. A lot of people wouldn't admit it, but they think life would be more convenient for society as a whole without children like Nora. And for me, it dawns. I'm like, of course the council would withhold funds because that is what many of us think of these disabled children and people. It's why common sense seems to fly out the window. You know, they're a burden, so they don't deserve all of this. Like, they don't need this stuff. They shouldn't even be here in the first place. You're lucky that we're even giving you this money. And ultimately, I'm left with anger. Something that I also noticed later on that wasn't really reflected in the program. Well, not at least not that, that raw, visceral, burning, white hot anger. Like, why aren't they more angry? But I guess in the face of this looming, unmovable mountain of bureaucracy, anger just feels like this wasted emotion. Instead, there is life to live and there is Nora to fight for. You can listen to Complex on BBC Sounds and also find a link in the description below. Thank you.